Okay, what in the heck is this? Is this a space laser? It looks like a space laser. But it's pointing at a door, so maybe not. Alright, what kind of incriminating evidence do we have today?
Offline.
Oh, really? That's a
personal
first.
log. Scientist, Hudson, Elizabeth, 18, June, 2037.
Spiritus production is approaching disaster. Irrigation supply can't keep up with botanical demand, going through more hand 4 cells than we planned for or brought with us. Power is straining from keeping them both running in the red. This can't continue, especially under the command of someone more comfortable asking for forgiveness than permission. I love Alex, but I am starting to lose faith in her.
Well, maybe you should file a complaint with Mission Control. To be like, hey, so Alex is trying to do a plan that might just end up with the station blowing up. So maybe we should do something about that, huh, Mission Control? And then they'd be like, okay, we'll send someone up to retrieve Commander Alex Oshima in the next resupply shuttle in July. And then it turns out that in a panic, knowing that we were gonna be arrested for illegally performing these operations and risking the lives of my crew, I pushed the power up even further. Sabotage. To keep myself safe from Earth and to bring everybody down with me. Mankind above all else? Ha! To hell with that, right? It's all about Alex. Although, you know, we really can't say much because Alex isn't shipping in about her personal feelings for this. We just float. Float and fix. Also, damn. Elizabeth Hudson had some shade to throw about Alex. Oh my god.
Warning. Emergency escape vehicles offline. Core systems repair required for launch.
Propulsion facility. Ooh. There is 3 exits here. We have M02. I'm assuming M01. I'm gonna go to 1 first, because this one looks like it leads out to the furthest side. And I'd rather work my way innards, or inside, Jesus. Rather than going backwards. Okay, this area isn't looking so hot.
Satellite transmission received.
Don't really have any oxygen.
Encrypted personal log. Astronaut, Olivier, Sebastian, 12, February, 2037.
Earth is beautiful today. I can clearly see the ruins of the Great Barrier Reef. Once, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. An ecosystem created entirely by billions of organisms. A living world within a living world. And yet, as I look down upon the wonder of all known creation, I feel nothing. Earth is no longer my home. This is where I belong, and where my days will end. In some strange ways, the cancer has saved my life. I am completely at peace.
Well, minus, you know, the destruction of the space station, it probably was pretty chill being up here. Oh no. You know, every time we find one of these, something bad happens. Or we find a body of somebody. Or just floats into the abyss. Okay, alright, let's realign ourselves. Maybe don't fly down towards Earth. God, I'm losing my orientation! Let's do a stabilization action. Okay. I'm surprised it doesn't point us towards, like, the middle of the place when we do stabilize. So according to my velocity, whatever thingy we're downstairs, or down at the left, something in that direction, but not really. Okay, we're just gonna fly back to where we came from, because we're gonna fall into orbit, and I don't think that's the way we want to be getting back to Earth. It's kind of a very easy way to burn out and die. I like how I hit the box, the auction box, and it's just floating away. Could I just avoid going inside? I could, but I have low oxygen. I mean, half oxygen isn't super low oxygen, but I'm gonna treat it that way. Okay. Let's boost ourselves around even more. I'm actually not using the boost all too much. I kind of forget about it sometimes. I'm so used to moving around with all the other ways. Which is funny, because I spent the longest time just holding shift to boost myself forward without realizing that it was doing nothing. And now that it actually can do something, I'm not using it as much. Alright, I see what we have to do. That building over there is where we have to go. But it looks like it's locked off again, so we have to find the locks. Fix the mobilis area. Now, what is so important about this place? That's locked off. Ah. Okay. We're here again. Well, we didn't find much over to the left, so we're heading forward instead. At least in terms of the directions I'm pointing out. Is forward where we really want to be? I feel like it is. I feel like it's going in the direction that the main buildings from Mobilis went. Yeah, this is the right way. Or at least one of the right ways. Thank you. I like how we still haven't made any real contact with Earth. They just know we're repairing the systems, which means they just kind of assume, hey, she's listening in and getting shit done. We haven't responded, because if we respond, then we have to actually have responsibility, right? No. The area's locked off. Which I guess isn't so bad because there's a huge break inside the building anyways. But that probably is going to be locked off as well.
Full Mobilis mainframe damaged and offline. Manual repair required.
Please just let me in. I know you have the other side locked off, but that's fine. I don't need that other side. Ow. I just need to be in here. Where we have an audio terminal we can catch up on. And then we can just head outside. We also have this nice oxygen thing on the other side.
Failure. Error. Hardiman Aerospace Internal Complaint Submission, 6, July 2037. Complainant.
Hudson, Elizabeth.
Rank.
Scientist.
Assignment.
North Star 4.
Offender.
Oshima, Alex.
Rank.
Commander.
Assignment.
North Star 4.
Please list complaints and grievances.
Insubordination. Abandonment of mission. Misuse of vessel. Endangerment of crew.
Requested action.
Request inquiry and review into relief of command.
Hardiman Aerospace internal complaint submission. Complete. Decision pending investigation and internal review.
Ah, well, there you go. It just took her until the last couple of days to send a complaint. Should have sent that in a month earlier. Maybe they would have reprimanded me and I could have just been like, oh, okay, alright, I guess we can't do that. I could have been relieved of command. And it's not like we could have done much by ourselves. Well, we found Elizabeth. How nice. Her final betrayal. And we find her out here. Although, personally, I wouldn't call it betrayal. I mean, I guess I already did. But she did what was probably the most decent decision taken. Ah, Elizabeth. Why couldn't you just listen? We were friends, I guess. So that's it? She doesn't even have a personal item? She just... oh, it's out here. Oh, sorry, Elizabeth. I like how she's one of the first, or one of the only people referred to by first name. That Alex referred to by first name. That shows how close they were. She didn't refer to him as just their last name and as a crew member. She was our friend. Our friend, our best friend who threw mad shade. But sometimes that's what a friendship is. Throwing mad shade and trying to get the shit together for the benefit of both of you. Because if your best friend's acting crazy, you don't have to put up with that shit. Oh, there's an exit on this side, crap. I wonder if I'm gonna miss any of these. We have 21 out of 25, which is a pretty decent amount. But there have been areas that I don't think I've gone to that I'm probably not going to get to. Although I'm not sure. I am not entirely sure. Ow. Alright, we're gonna go along the outside of the ship to see if I can get into the Mobilis core area via that way. Hello. North Star 4. That is a huge structure. I think those were our thrusters. Alright, please just have an unlocked portal system. I need to get in and get the Mobilis up and running. I haven't seen a place that directly connects this area yet. It's not showing a locked icon, so that's promising. Ow. Please open. Oh, thank God. Okay. I'm just used to the other ones that had to be like fixing up 3 or 4 different things before I could get into the main structure. Oh, God damn it. Okay. She's aligning herself so she can go up the ladder. That was completely not me.
Activating Mobilis System Terminal. Mainframe online. Initializing Cerebrum Core Diagnostic Sequence. Cerebrum core corrupt. Cerebrum core fabrication required. Initiate cerebrum core fabrication. Mobilis mainframe terminal critically damaged. Locate emergency backup terminal to access Mobilis system.
Shit.
Mission control to Oshima. EEV propulsion reserves at 7%. Ox mainframe activation required for fuel reroute. Updating mainframe location coordinates to heads-up display. Stand by.
It was too easy, man. It was too easy. So now I gotta find the emergency backup terminal, which, hey, you know what? At least they have emergency backup terminals. That's a sign of forward thinking. Some of which we haven't really had on a lot of these sections of the space station. I just don't know where the hell this one is. But I am making a big assumption that it's not in this building. Otherwise, it'd be too easy. Otherwise, they wouldn't even need to bother telling us. Yeah, the terminal's corrupt. You can't do this one. Go somewhere else. At least that'd be the sensible decision. It was also very questionable when we couldn't get the integrity patch for my suit. That was the biggest thing. I was like, huh, it's not upgrading my integrity. That's different from the other patch. Oh, it's because it's broken. Okay. So, more than likely, we have to head that way. Because there's just a whole lot of space station that we did not go to. Gotta make my way over to the oxygen. I don't want to head all the way back over to the main area and then find out, oh, whoops, went the wrong way, so definitely glad I made sure to look around. Still wish I could just, like, duct tape some of this oxygen stuff to my side. But then the tension would be gone from the game. Whoa. So considering there's no icons inside of that structure, inside of what looks like rocket boosters, I don't think I can go in them. But I can try checking. Because this looks like it might have an entrance if it were to have one. Or it could just be the side that connects. It's just a side that connects. Okay. Han for Spire. That sounds really intimidating. I don't even know if it's where I should be going. But if I were gonna have any kind of terminal backups, the Spire would be a decent place to start. Although we're not seeing any icons in this place, so maybe there isn't anything in here. Maybe it's just a random building next to everything together. I am, like, desperately trying to find the icons. Now, according to my radar itself, it's showing me 2 white arrows pointing in this direction. But because of how space works, I have no idea if they're pointing, like, ahead of me, or if they're just saying they're, like, above me. Yep, no idea where the fuck I'm going. Is this even a building I can enter? I don't think so. I think it's just like, oh my god, this place is so huge. I'm so lost. But at least we got a checkpoint, which means something's got to be over here. Or maybe they're just like, hey, maybe they don't want to fly back like 10 minutes worth after dying out here. At least there's an audio thing over here for me to listen to. Maybe they'll have good news about the world caring about Alex. Like, hey, maybe she's responsible for the space station blowing up and all of her crew members dying. But we should be concerned with trying to get her home alive first. There's plenty of time to question that later. And then the world pulls its resources together to try and get in communication with me. One can dream.
You are receiving a global information network update. Sebastian Olivier turned his back on public service after being forced into mandatory radiation retirement by the French government space program. It is believed that this event is what drove Olivier into seclusion. The historic missions leading to the Luna 1 moon colonization and the discovery of water on Venus were said to have played a significant role in Olivier's struggle acclimating back into terrestrial life. Olivier alluded to his struggles in his famous quote, "After experiencing the wonder and possibility of the universe, it is quite difficult to not feel like an alien on Earth." For instant updates, stay connected to Global Information Network stream.
You know, we still haven't found Olivier. We found pretty much everybody else. Teresa, McDonough, Elizabeth, Liam. We still don't know where the Sebastian is. Poor old man. Maybe he just died of old age. Like shock kicked in and killed him. That's mean. Sebastian's a man that deserves respect. I mean, everybody up here deserves respect. They're in space, man! You know what kind of shit you have to do to get in space? Far more work than probably the majority of humans will ever put into life. Or at least just be really smart. I wouldn't know, never been in space. But I guess you could also just be lucky. I'm sure there are gonna be plenty of humans getting into space in the future that have, you know, no real requisitions, no real accolades, no accomplishments, just, oh, well, I hitched a ride on this space plane and I just wanted to visit the moon. Maybe do some space mining. I would totally be a space miner. I mean, being a miner on Earth would probably be very boring for me, but being a miner in space? I mean, sure, it would probably still be pretty mundane, but at least it would be in space. Alright, I gotta find out where the hell this thing is. So if we look with my direction compass thing, it's pointing kind of in that direction. Right? If I look that way, it starts getting really big. I don't know how to navigate with this. The fucking tutorial should have taught me how these things worked at the bottom left and bottom right. For all I know, they could actually mean absolutely nothing. Oh my god. A little bit of oxygen remaining. So is there really nothing over there? We went past the spire, which was above us. In terms of structures over there, we had the satellite and then just kind of one bigger satellite. But I didn't go to that far structure. Crap. Okay. We're heading that way. We know our goal. We also see a blinking red light, which means that's probably Sebastian. Shoot. Also, I'm dying. I got no oxygen. Just gonna float until I can get another oxygen canister. Ow. That's fine. That's fine. Just low effort, man. Low effort. Except for when I need to boost forward. I don't think we're gonna make it. I see there's the oxygen over there at the big satellite dish. We're gonna give ourselves a boost. We're gonna hope we can make it. Because now we have a direction. Now we know where I have to go. Beyond. Further ahead. We can't let this be the end. I see there's an oxygen canister there. We're gonna make it. I believe in us. Oh, shit! No! Oh, no! Let me through! I was so close. I was so close. Son of a bitch. My fucking foot hit the edge of the station. And that got me killed because all the rest of my oxygen went out. Probably because we gasped and then breathed back in. Oh, Jesus. Alright, now I just gotta align myself. Where is the thing we were looking for? That's the spire. Which means we need to turn it around. Oh, God. See, I had an idea of where I was going, and now I've completely lost that. That's the spire, which means the area we're supposed to be going. Is it the spire? No, it's part of a spire. Maybe this is where we gotta go. It's kinda really hard to tell. But I see there is a red light flashing in the distance. I think this is the right way. We're using Sebastian as our guide to the final area. And hopefully I don't ram myself into an object again, because I'd like to not lose my sense of direction again. Oh, Jesus. Shut up, suit! Shut up, suit! I don't need you to scare me. Okay. We're definitely making it. We are definitely in the right area. Because I don't recognize this place as an area that we've been in before. Also, you know, the flashing red light, which indicates that's probably someone's suit. Although now that light's gone. What? I gotta investigate that. There was a red flashing light over here. Yep, there you go. Which indicates that it's one of our crew members.
Sebastian.
Everyone's dead up here. I'm all alone in the void of space. It's so empty. But this is fine. This is fine. I signed up for this mission. I knew the risks. I knew the risks of when when Alex decided, hey, you know what? Let's try to accelerate our game plans because otherwise I won't be able to do Luna 2. Well, now she definitely won't get a chance to do Luna 2. Because who's going to trust her as a commander ever again? Screw your career, Alex. You messed it up yourself. So this is probably be like the last words of Sebastian. Yep.
Incoming communication. Hardeman Corporation Oncologist. Kits. PETA. 7 May 2037.
Sebastian, I've detected anomalies in your last round of test results. I see a very clear decrease in your T-cell count. Your cancer, it appears to be regressing. I can't be certain, but this could be connected to your extended radiation exposure. If that's the case, the implications here. I need a fresh battery of tests with full blood and tissue samples to better understand what's happening to you. Please, take care of yourself. And get those encrypted samples packaged safely and earthbound on the next resupply shuttle out.
We've ruined so much! We've discovered a cure for cancer! It's space radiation! But now he's dead, and we can't get those samples out at all. Oh boy. You know, what if... No, I'm guessing that the supply shuttle never really made it here intact. Otherwise, they would have been saving us. Liam would have been out of here rather than being dead. And the samples would have gotten away safely. And that would be too easy. That would be too easy. Alright, I need to find the backup terminal. I'm assuming it's over here. Towards the giant spinning station. Can I even enter the giant spinning station? Maybe not. Where am I going? It's like I take 2 floats forward and then 3 floats back. But at least this is something new. I mean, I haven't been here before. Hey. That's a pretty big random structure to be chilling out here on its own. Although it doesn't have any icons popping up for it, which means that fundamentally it probably doesn't have much for us. But I am fine with there just being oxygen. We're fine. We made it. We made it to the backup terminal. And now it's being creepy with its music again. Which means we're at the right place.
Activating mobile system terminal. Mainframe online. Initializing hand 4 EVA diagnostic sequence. EVA integrity repair detected. Initialize EVA integrity repair. EVA integrity 100%. Exit EVA diagnostic environment. Initializing cerebrum core diagnostic sequence. Cerebrum core corrupt. Cerebrum core fabrication required. Initiate cerebrum core fabrication.
We did it. We're getting the last core.
Cerebrum core fabrication
And our suit is completely repaired. Which I still don't know what
Cerebrum
integrity is going to do for us, but more than likely it just means that we have a little bit more survivability.
EVA life support systems firmware v2.51 repair complete. Hand 4 Mobilis mainframe online. System function 86%.
So either we're gonna lose less oxygen as we go through debris fields, or we're gonna not take as much damage when we bump into things. Yeah, we still have the leak happening whenever we're out in space. But maybe not as much. Alright.
Incoming communication. Encrypted personal log. Astronaut, Olivier, Sebastian, 27, April, 2037.
I have been profoundly changed by my experiences in space, but not in the ways others have. I never want to go back. I never feel the euphoric connection to every living being on Earth, as others describe. From the moment my feet touch the ground again, I experience profound emptiness and the insatiable urge to flee. I am instantly drawn back to the unknown, to selfishly satisfy my ego and desire to explore the universe and discover greater meaning. I never forget the quote from Adr1ft during the first Gemini spacewalk. I'm coming back in, and it's the saddest moment of my life.
Now that guy had a profound connection with space. He could probably be a pretty good space miner in another life. But he did. He did. If someone believes in reincarnation, hey, maybe he's back somewhere else. Maybe he'll get another chance. But scientifically, no, they're gone. And that's a tragedy. A tragedy that's our fault. Also, I'm taking the long road home. I could have gone, well, it's actually not the longest route, it's the straightest route. The shortest route between two paths is a straight line, and well, here we are, going straight towards the entrance back to the station rather than navigating ourselves along the safe areas. Through the debris paths, through oxygen. I might be missing a couple of things back in there. There are a couple of locked off areas. Maybe a few data pads that I didn't retrieve or audio logs that I didn't trigger. That's fine. We're getting out of here. Unless there's like one last thing that I have to repair. Also, I love when stuff just pops into this game. You know, visually this game looks very, very, very good. I mean, there's not much going on, obviously. So I can afford to have really nice visuals. You know, it's not like we're shooting aliens in space. But it is always amusing when pop-in happens. It's like, oh, by the way, space debris. Okay. I probably wouldn't have been able to do that without my integrity upgrade. Blockage detected. Manual clearance required. Well, I don't know what that meant. I guess it just meant the door couldn't open all the way, so I had to navigate around. Am I in the right place? I have no idea. I just kind of flew towards an entrance that I saw, but this might not...
Mobilis Filtrum coolant.
Okay, this is the Mobilis Filtrum area. Good.
Thermomobilis filtrum coolant module. Online. Hand 4 filtrum coolant system operating at 100%.
Good. I have no idea what that's gonna do for us, but it's good to have the entire station be generally repaired. You know what, actually? So I guess this is what the space station looked like before it got all super destroyed. Yeah, that definitely makes more sense than what the fuck happened to it like later on. Oh my god. Its pieces have just been strewn about all over the place, but beforehand it was pretty straightforward. That would have been nice to explore. Wait, come back, oxygen! You know, I think I should probably be feeling really bad with the amount of oxygen that I just keep on, like, grabbing. Because technically, a lot of this oxygen came about from our increased productivity. And so I am, in a way, surviving off of my sins. I mean, obviously they would have produced plenty of oxygen before all this stuff happened, before we made dangerous plans. But it's just interesting to think of it that way. Like, there's a lot of oxygen here that probably was made only because we had increased our productivity. Alright, this is it. We have to install the last core and then we're getting on out of here. Alright, we're good. Oh, you know, I didn't notice that there's just this giant hole here. Can I fly through it? I can! It's probably not a great idea, but it is a way to get in. I could have avoided so many things. Who needs to open the doors? I just fly through the holes! I like how there's been, like, no places that I can take off my helmet.
Sender, Hardiman Aerospace Flight Commander Romero, Brian, 9 July 2037.
Hiroshima, if you are receiving this communication, you will follow disaster protocol and have successfully repaired the mainframes required for EEV launch and Earth re-entry. It is imperative that you download all communications, network logs, and Spiritus mainframe activity data before you come home. EEV3 is online and standing by, Commander. Over.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Download all the transmissions and the black boxes and all that so we know exactly what happened here. Oh boy. This is probably supposed to be like the last SSD you find in the game. But whoops, I missed a couple. Alright. Am I getting out of here finally? Should I be doing something else, like accessing the mainframes above? I don't think so, although it is showing like 3 different icons all over the place, so it has me worried, but we're getting out of here.
Hand 4 Administer Series 4, version 2.3. 9 July 2037. Intelligentsia system memory backup and data transfer complete. Hand 4 Administer white box enabled. Eject sequence complete. Location beacon active. Cerebrum deactivation sequence complete. Core systems offline. Hardeman Aerospace North Star 4 Salvas EEV launch commencing in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
We're gonna make it home, boys!
3, 2,
and then we're gonna get arrested. Or at least get a really stern talking to.
Survivor detected. Hardeman Aerospace North Star 4, Commander, Oshima, Alex. Vital signs, stable. Personal data transmission received. Sender, Hudson, Emily. 9, July, 2037.
Oh boy.
Alex, I'm here at Hardeman with the other families. How could you let this happen?
God.
How can Elizabeth, the others, be gone? I've always accepted you unconditionally, as one of my own. I don't know how or if that's even possible now. It's time to come home and face the consequences of your actions, Alex. I hope you've done the right thing, the respectful thing for the crew, for these families, for Elizabeth. Goodbye, Alex.
Okay. Yeah, just hit me with one final blow. Just be like, how could you let this happen? You killed everyone. You're gonna have to face the consequences of your actions, Alex. I don't disagree with that. Face the consequences of your Alex. Home. What? Oh, you finally told me. Get out of here. Goddamn. Okay. Well, that's Adrift. And I'm so now annoyed by that ending. Fucking really? Alright, let's get the good stuff out of the way first. It was an interesting experience. Just kind of floating about in space, trying to get this shit working. But fundamentally, there wasn't a lot to this game. You know, we had a lot of audio logs, but it was the bare basics. Not even really that much, but just like bare basics of having a little bit of character to, not even develop, but just characters to let us know, oh, well, what the hell does Liam do? Oh, he's an alcoholic. All right, who's Sebastian? He's old. Elizabeth, she's a resentful old best friend. Okay, just that's what we got. We got little tiny snippets of their lives without really any kind of. Obviously, we can interact with them. They're dead, but even we've had so much experience in games to show how, hey, you know, after the events have happened, you can still have a story that builds up the characters that are already gone, that are already dead, by having decent audio logs, by having the character interact in meaningful ways, and we didn't have any of that, and that makes the experience get very, very washed out alongside the general gameplay of the game. A lot of the game is just float to destination and hold F while getting berated for something you had no responsibility over, personally, and that Alex shows like no kind of character about. Alex completely and utterly only talks in single words at a time throughout the entire game, and it's towards the corpses of her crewmates that she got killed, and at the end of the game when she says home. Did she suffer some kind of brain trauma during this event? I mean, that would be likely, but you're telling me she's incapable of, like, talking to herself, of, like, feeling regret and sync? I mean, fucking. I know as a person who talks to themselves for a living, I don't really have a lot of room to talk because I'm very biased about it. I talk to myself a lot. But even in moments where I'm not recording, if something happens in front of me, I still will just say something. It doesn't even have to be like entire sentences, like a full-on conversation with stuff. Just say fucking something like holy shit, or oh no, or just something, even just a non-verbal communication. Have her, you know, like put her hand on her crew member's faceplate visor, and then have them just kind of drift off. And we don't have any of that. The max interaction we had in the game was holding F and smacking things, and that's really a big shame because this game has a lot going for it in terms of an interesting concept. We don't have a lot of games that take place in space after a space disaster. We don't really have a lot of that gravity kind of experience of shit happening. Also, in terms of danger, there really wasn't that much danger at all. The only danger in the game was how much or how ballsy you were in terms of like trying to fly further and further out, and how much oxygen you had. We never had any moments where like space debris, we didn't have any of that gravity tension of oh well, there's also a potential chance that more shit's gonna happen. There could have been, I mean, obviously real life doesn't always have to be as fantastic as a movie. It doesn't have to have fucking explosions happening everywhere and fire just erupting all across the station, but the game presents itself as very much as a stagnant everything. Everything in this game was stagnant. Nothing really changed. We activated a couple of things here and there, and it was very okay. And even I don't even think VR would have saved this, because this just kind of dragged on. This was 4 hours of floating to 4 different corners of the map and holding F in a place and then flying all the way back. It is tons and tons and tons of backtracking. And I know I didn't get all of the SSDs. Maybe something would have happened if I'd gotten the SSDs, like maybe just one more audio log where we get to hear Alex talk, but goddamn, that's a real shame. I enjoyed a lot of this game, but at the same time, I couldn't really recommend this. I mean, I don't remember how much this cost. I don't think it costs like a terribly large chunk of money. It's not like a $60 game, and overall it is about like 3 to 4 hours long. So if you're that kind of person who finds value in terms of length, well, it's not that terribly short, but just in terms of the density, what is in this game, what it has to offer, there's not much. There's like 5 audio logs per dead crew member, sometimes not even. We heard like 2 audio logs, maybe 3 from Sebastian. We heard like practically nothing from Alex. And so in terms of just a storytelling mechanism, there's not much there. I mean, it was very easy, very early on, it was pretty easy to see, oh, Alex is responsible for what happened here, but we don't even know what really happened here. What happened? We were responsible for the station maybe being misplaced, but why is it destroyed? Did the space shuttle make contact with us because it wasn't expecting us to be in a different position? Did one of the reactors in the ship have a critical malfunction and tear itself apart, and then because of how fast you're gonna have to be going in space, it collided with other parts and just shredded the place up? We don't know. And that's a real shame. Again, maybe I missed something. There were plenty of audio logs that I probably didn't run into. There were the last 2 SSDs that I run into, because just the base gameplay is floating around and being lost because you don't have a map of the place. You just have recognition of different kinds of debris, and just this game was very okay. I think that it provides an interesting experience to just kind of be floating around in space and trying to solve the problem of having an emergency vehicle that is useless in an emergency. But I think that this was a missed opportunity for it to have a really good story, for something that I can go, hey, here's this really cool thing, and I can show it to people who aren't maybe really into games. Maybe they're going to be into VR, right? I put it on their head, and they have just this interesting experience. But you don't have that. It's 4 hours of floating around. You know how we're getting into the era of where we have a lot of games that are called walking simulators? This is a floating simulator, and it has even less effort than that. We played a game very recently called Firewatch. And that did a much better job of just having like, okay, well, you're plopped in this interesting environment that you usually don't get in video games, and here's a story that's going on, and you have character interactions that are going on that are very interesting, decently voice acted, and then you go to this, and it's like, Sebastian, Elizabeth, home. Like, really. I think the villain of this entire game, besides Alex, is Lucy. Her and her incapability to appreciate that her dad's in fucking space! And her depressing piano music. That's the most evil thing in this game. But this was Adrift. Hopefully you guys enjoyed somewhat of our adventure through this. I wish the game would have been better. This was on my list of games that I was pretty hyped up for, just because it's space. I'm a sucker for space games, and it delivered on the front of floating around in space and being generally interested in seeing those vistas, the really interesting views of Earth. That was really nice. This game has visuals going on for it. Some of the pieces of music were really nice. Some of the original pieces of music were nice. But everything else fell down into either being decent or not even. Some of it just was really below average, and that's a shame. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later.